Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 81 of Direwolf20's Let's Play Season 4. Oh wow, 81 already. Whew. Ah, man, this is getting to be a long series. But that's okay, I've got some really cool stuff planned for today's episode. I came up with an idea on something I'd like to build. It's going to be a pretty long and complex build, but I think once I get it there, it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to involve some Red Power 2 computer stuff. I'm not sure how good I'll be able to program the computer to do what I want, but I think it'll still be pretty awesome, and I think there's some cool ideas in this. So let me get started figuring out all the components I'm going to need. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty large build, but I think it's going to look nice in the end. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm ready to create a new age, and I remember that I have all these books in here, these descriptive books in this area, and a lot of them I'm not using. So what I'm going to show you guys is if you take two existing descriptive books in a crafting table, you can combine them to get a fresh new descriptive book that's going to be a brand new age number 280 in this case. Let's go ahead and place it in here, and let's call it, I don't really want to give away what I'm going to build, so let's just call it something cool. For now, we'll just call it, Age of Builds. That sounds cool, because we're going to be building stuff in there. Let's give it the following. I'm just going to go single biome. I don't think it really matters what biome I go with. Let's just go with plains biome. It's not a big deal. Doesn't matter. Lighting. We're going to want bright. Sky. Let's go with a blue sky, maybe. We'll just leave that random. That sounds cool. Terrain features, meh, nothing. Terrain generation, void. We definitely want this to be a void age, nice and empty. And we'll make it eternal day as usual because we like it to be nice and bright for YouTube. And we don't want any weather, so no weather, please. World modifier, Skylands, not at all. Alright, Age of Builds. You ready to check it out? Here goes nothing. I'm also going to grab a linking book back to the overworld for myself. And I should probably real quick craft myself a link book stand. So let's do that. And this will work for getting situated once I get down there. And maybe just to be extra safe, grab my mercurial eye to get ready to start building a platform once I'm out there, just to make things a little easier. What do I got? Marble? Let's make it smooth stone for now. Alright, I'm going to take the Mob Grinder book off of here and put the Age of Builds in there. Neat. Mob Grinder book, you were only temporary anyway. Age of Builds, let's check it out. What do we wind up getting? I'll be back once the age is... Hey, that's a pretty nice place. Nice blue sky, nice blue void. One little block to stand on. Let's change that up. Extension mode, please. Boom. Alright, now a platform to live on. Hooray! And I'm just going to extend this platform a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, let's place down our link book stand to get back to the overworld, because that's always an important aspect of our age. Perfect. So now I can pop back and forth there easily. Let's go back into the Age of Builds and start kind of planning out where I want things to work. Now, I'm really just going to have this platform here. It's really not going to be nothing too fancy. I might want to do... Let's even do this. Just to kind of help make sure I don't fall off the edge by mistake. And I'm going to head back to the overworld in just a sec. Yeah, that looks nice. I'm going to head to the overworld in just a second and start collecting some of the resources I'm going to need to make this nifty little thing. And maybe I'll start off by showing you guys one of the components of this build, because it's going to be something new that you haven't seen yet. Well, at least not in this season. I'll be back. Alright guys, let's get started on what's going to be a rather large and complicated build, I think. In order for this to work, I'm going to need to start doing some stuff with lasers. I've done a few things with lasers in the past, but I've got some more to do with it. I'm grabbing for myself at the moment. Let's just get creative with that piece here and do that with it. Building for myself a couple lasers just to demonstrate the concept of what I'd like to do here. Getting a red laser, a green laser, and a blue laser. Okay, doesn't have to be anything too fancy or powerful, but that should work for us. And while I'm at it, I should probably grab myself just a few levers just to make sure everything's nice and happy. Good. Let's go outside and take a look at how we want this thing to work. Right out here should be a good temporary testing spot. Yeah, that looks nice. So the way this is going to be is the following. What I can do with these lasers is, I'm just going to place down cobble as like a temporary test. If I drill into the side of my laser and place a green lens in there, okay, the green lens on the laser is going to emit a green laser color. Let's get this thing on here. There we go. Cool. And you can actually use this green lens to affect the growth of plants. I haven't really been doing it this season, but if you were to shoot the green lens at a plant, it'll make it grow faster. And the stronger the laser, the more quickly it'll grow. Sweet. Now the next laser I'm going to place down, let's place it like, I don't know, right over here. And then I also want to place one like right around here. That'll look cool. What I can do with this laser, and then I want to place one here as well. If I drill into the front of this face and place a white laser, okay, that's all well and good. But I could also place some glass around the sides. And what that does is it places receptacles for the laser to come into. And it looks like I don't want that one there. Probably want this one to be here. There we go. And the glass acts as a receptacle for the laser to come in, and then the white lens that we've placed in here will allow the laser to come through and not change its color. Pretty neat so far. Now the cool thing about this particular type of lens, and you can see there's a different types of stuff you can do. You can do prisms and splitters and sensors and reflectors and all that stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff to do with the laser mod that I haven't really had enough chance to get in and play with yet. But one of them is if we were to put a red lens on here, pretty cool. And let's turn this laser off and put a lever here. You can see now we've got a red laser coming through. But since this thing will combine two colors and spit out the same combination of them, when you combine green and red, you get yellow. Now, before those of you who are familiar with Crayola colors and saying, hey, green plus red does not equal yellow, well, in light, yes it does. So that's how it works. Just accept it and move on. Okay. And finally, over here, I'm going to place the blue lens that I made on the front of this guy and set up a lever here. So now, red and blue are coming together to make purple. And blue and green make cyan. And all three of them turned on will make white. So what we've got basically here is the option to make a couple different cool colors and combinations of stuff. Pretty sweet. So let's take this and expand upon it after I sleep through the night. So the next thing we can build here using our crafting table is as follows. If I take a ruby and some glass and some iron, I want to say, maybe this is right. No, it's not. I was close though. Oh, glass goes on the sides. Okay. I was close. Look at that. Display tube. Neat. And we can put glowstone in the middle here to get 8 display panels. Awesome. So if we combine these things with our lasers that we just set up here, and all we have to do for this to work is place the display tube in front of where the laser is going to hit it, and then the display thingy there like that. Let's see what happens when we start turning on lasers. Cool. We got like this little glass glowing light up thingy here. And what that'll do is basically act as, you know, a light. So if we wanted to, we could have something really neat looking. For example, we could have something that when let's say we had a nuclear reactor and we wanted to know there were 3 different stages of it, and red was bad, and yellow was good, and green was even better. Something like that. And maybe blue could even mean it was completely powered off. Whatever. But you could do this neat little thing with this light setup. And I think I'd like to expand on this even more and start building some really cool contraptions using some of these lights, because I think there's something neat we could build. So now that you guys have seen the basics of what I want to set up, let's start building the components for what we're going to have here. Alright, so let's get started building some of the stuff we're going to need here. Like I said, this is going to be a pretty large build. It's going to need a lot of resources. So let's get our crafting table and start going on this. I'm going to need to make myself a bunch of those, whatchamacallit thingies. Let's see, was it that? Or is it all redstone around the glass? I always forget which one. There we go, rubies. Cool. So I'm going to need a lot more redstone and a lot more rubies and a lot more display tubes. Yeah, this is going to be a big build, but I'm going to get started making these things and I'll be back. Alright, there's half a stack of display tubes. We're going to need more. Good thing I've got all these resources, huh? Yeah, it's a lot. But like I said, a big fun build. Can't go wrong. Thought I had more glass. Oh well, I'll get some. Alright, took a lot of resources, but I got a bunch of display tubes and a bunch of display panels. Now, it's going to cost me even more resources than that, but this will at least get us started. I might even want to bring my lens bench with me into the age here, the age of builds. And I might even want to do a couple other things just to be extra helpful in this. I'm probably going to wind up using a lot of equivalent exchange resources because this is a build that's going to require a lot of stuff. Alright, so I've got my bench here. Let's get started building out where I want to set up what I've got set up here. I don't have an exact plan, at least nothing too crazy. Let's see, is that a nice center? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Looks good to me. I like it. Alright, so I'm just going to run some stuff out to here. And then I think I should set up, just trying to map out exactly the way I want this. I'm going to start placing down display tubes like that. Okay, that looks cool. Just trying to envision the way this is going to look. Alright, let's start trying it out. So from here, I'm going to want just a few things. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How's that look? And yeah, it's 10. It's not going to be perfectly even. Sorry. Maybe I'll bump this out a little bit to make it look a little nicer. That looks good, right? So, maybe just to smooth things out a little bit and make you guys happy about the evenness of it all, we'll do this. Yeah, that looks nicer, I think. It's got to be 10, and you'll see why eventually. Alright, so this looks good. Yeah, look at that. Right there. And this thing right up there. This looks nice. Alright, I'm going to bring this up. Okay, we've got 1 here, so let's make it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A 10 by 10 display is what I'm going to wind up having here. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to be clicking like mad, so I'll be back when I'm done. How's that look? Not too shabby. I like it. So let me just double check my math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now for the display panels, and don't fall. And again, clicking like mad for a few seconds, so I'll be back when I'm done. There we go, and a few extra resources to spare just because it's nice to have a few extras. Alright, and I'm going to have a chest in this age to help me out a little bit. We'll plant him right there just to store some junk we don't need at the exact moment. Alright, so now that we've got this thing set up, we need to figure out a good solid way. I'm probably going to even take this stuff off here, but maybe off camera. Whoa, okay, apparently they need a platform to stand on. Ha, cool. Alright, well that was interesting. Learn something new every day. So we'll leave that there. Good thing I didn't use a laser. I was like almost about to use a laser on that, and I would have been very unhappy if that happened. So, yeah, I'm going to go get a few more of these tube things, and I'll be back. There we go. Looking nice. We had a few extra of these. Cool. Alright, next up. What do we want to do? Let's consider, first off, I might want to, just to make this look nice, because it's going to have to be there anyway. Let's figure out how we want to get these lasers set up. I'm going to head back to the overworld and try a couple things out, just as a test. Now, there is a type of laser block. I have to find them in here, though. There they are. Sensor, reflector. I'm thinking reflector is the one I'm going to want to use. Now, the recipe for that includes this. So 2 smooth stone and a ruby in the middle. I want to craft one of those. Now I could use the drill like you saw me do just a minute ago, but I want to craft one of these, so I should probably have a few extra rubies. We're going to need a lot of rubies. In case you haven't been following along, we're going to need a real lot of them. So ruby, and let's get some smooth stone out of my fancy blocks box. Heh, fancy blocks box. And I just want to make sure the reflector is going to do exactly what I want it to do. So by coming out here, it looks like it's gonna. Let's grab those lasers. I think I put them in my miscellaneous junk chest. There we go. Because the question is, do I want to build a reflector or do I want to use the drills? Okay. Where's the levers? Green, blue, white. Okay, cool. I like it so far. Alright, so I've got what I need to start making displays. I want to get about, I don't know, 99 more reflectors. So that's going to need a lot more rubies and a lot more glass. So equivalent exchange is certainly going to help me out with that respect. Let's get in here and steal myself some redstone. I don't think I've even got the redstone. Just put that in the target slot there. Yeah, we're probably going to need a lot of redstone. Probably a ton. That'll work for now. Okay. And again, crafting up a bunch of rubies and stuff off camera. Alright, that should be about what I need. Alright, now let me show you what the problem is and what the solution is. Basically, we've got these big old light displays here, okay? And what we're going to want to do is set it up. And let's lay out some cobble back here. And I'm going to expand this more, of course, in the future. Okay, but let's lay out a few pieces of cobble along the back, and we'll kind of figure out where the issue lies with this whole setup. All right, so if I place down my laser reflector here, okay, we're going to want lights coming in on this side, okay, this side, and this side, let's say, okay. That's pretty much the way we want to set it up, so that you have all these laser lights coming in on either side. And that'll work out great until we get to the point where we want to place a laser reflector here. Now we can access the middle two sides here. So this light, you can't have anything on the left, and this light, you can't have anything on the right. And if we place a laser reflector here, we run into the same problem. So this guy's really only got 3 receptacles available to it: the bottom, the back, and the top. Okay, but as soon as we start building this vertically, well, now we've got a bigger problem. Okay, this middle block, for example, is surrounded on all sides except the back. So that becomes an issue. So we're going to need to have a way to set it up so that we can have laser lights going into all sides, and at the same time still be able to, function and do what we want it to do. So the solution to that then is to put your lasers like this. Okay. And what you've got now is a laser light can pass through here and hit on this side. Okay. But since it's only a laser light, it won't affect the laser light coming out of this front one here. So they shouldn't interfere with each other. So by doing this diagonal pattern, we shouldn't have a problem. So all I gotta do is build out the back pane here and start planting some lights everywhere. So I'm gonna do that off camera right now and be back in a few. Okay, before I did too much building in here though, I wanted to do a quick test with my blue laser. So basically what's gonna happen is we're gonna have a bunch of blue lasers all along this side. We're gonna have a bunch of green lasers all the way along the back and a bunch of red lasers all the way around on this side. And what we'll wind up doing here is as follows. Let's go back a handful, but basically the gist here is, we could have like the green lasers here on this side, and I just got to orient and place it correctly before it'll work, of course. Yeah, that didn't work either. And I don't know what the right tool is for breaking these laser blocks, but it's probably not the drill. There we go. So the green light's on. And this one over here, cool, blue light's on. Perfect. That looks good. Let's turn off the green light Oh, it's not working. What's going on there? Well, the basic gist is when this laser only has a length of about 10 blocks that it can travel. Now, when you combine this laser with this laser inside the beam here, it combines the length of them so that they can travel a combined 20 blocks. But since this guy can only travel 10 blocks, he's not going to be able to go through to here. So we have to fix that a little bit with a little magic combination. Let's go back to the overworld and sneak over here to our dusts and gems and get ourselves another piece of lapis or some. I'm going to need a bunch of this stuff anyway, but for now, we cool. Lapis, glass, and I'm going to need, I believe, some glowstone. And take that back to our Age of Builds to play with our lens bench. There we go. So glass and the lapis gives us the blue laser that we had before, but if we throw some glowstone in there, now we get a blue lens with a range of +10. So glowstone modifies your laser lens to increase the range. Let's give that a try right now using our drill. Okay, get the boring old blue lens out of there and put the blue lens with a range of +10 in, and now we don't have a problem anymore. Okay, so the bottom left block is displaying just fine. Sweet. And the green, of course, will still work. Now, by doing this test, I've pretty much determined that if I only want one color on at a time, I'm going to need them all to be range of +10. Because even though this guy right here is fine, okay, eventually we're going to have a reflector all the way on this side, let's say, that points to this thing, and we're going to need a green laser here, and that range of, 10 is not going to work, presumably. So I guess they don't all need to be a range of +10, but some of them will be. See? Not going to work for us. Okay? But if I made this green laser a +10 range, it would work as well. So, some of them will work without a range of +10, but others won't. So I think just to make it nice and easy and safe and consistent, and because it's not like I can't get myself just a handful of, glowstone, I will be making them all +10 ranges. All right, good to know. Back to building the layout for this whole thing. All right, I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Not too shabby. So what this thing should wind up doing is shooting the lasers through, and they should be able to hit all the panels directly in front of them. And yeah, that should all function just fine. So what we should wind up seeing, and let's test it with like the green laser here, for example. This guy should kind of reach if I place him right here, just because I don't have any other lasers to test with. But yeah, see? Now remember, the range is not going to... It's not long enough to hit because it's still a +0, not a +10 range. But you can see that the green laser is not interfering with the blue laser in any way. So it can still, all these lasers behind here will be shooting through and hitting the panels directly in front. Perfect. The next component here, of course, is the lasers themselves. We're going to need a bunch of red and blue and green lasers. We're going to need 100 each. Yeah. Right? Yeah. 10 by 10. Of red lasers, and a 10 by 10 of green lasers, and a 10 by 10 of blue lasers. And where I put them really doesn't matter, just as long as, I'm consistent. So I'm going to need like 300 lasers. That's going to be fun to build. The best part about laser lenses is they don't stack. Yeah, that's the best part of them. So I can't simply make, a bunch of blue lenses, for example, and stack them. They don't stack at all. So that is going to be the funnest part of this build. We'll start throwing this stuff in here because we don't need it too much. These are all testing, of course. So I'm going to need about 300 rubies. I'm going to need about 300 glowstone. And I'm going to need 300 glass. And 100 lapis, 100 rose red, and 100 dandelion. Or no, 100 cactus green. Yeah. So definitely going to be using equivalent exchange to help me out with that. Because this is a fun build, and it's not, all like, let's not use equivalent exchange for it. We're definitely going to need to. There's no way I'll be able to collect all those resources without. So I'm going to start getting ready to have all the resources I need, and then come back when I got them. Okay, so I've got 101 of each of these. Cactus green, rose red, and dandelion yellow. So that's going to be nice. And since I want to hang out here a little bit, I'm going to snag my transmutation tablet out of here. I think I've got glowstone. So what is that? That is a lot of EMC is what that is. Yeah, that's a serious amount of EMC. Let's get this guy and put him away. How much glowstone do I have here? 128 and 256 and 64. That's about 300 glowstone. So completely drained my Klein Star doing that, but I got about the 300 glowstone that I need. So we'll let that thing recharge for a minute. And then I also needed more rubies, and for that I'm going to need a lot more redstone than I probably have. So remember, I need about 300 rubies. Fun times ahead. Hey, wait, there's more glowstone in here? Did I pull more than I needed? Probably. Yeah, that's, what, 320 there? So I do have more than I need. We'll just burn it up. Not a big deal. Hey, maybe I can even convert it directly to redstone. I need a lot of this stuff. So let's get our building table here and start building what we're going to need to use it with. There we go, 64. And I'm going to have to do this quite a few more times, so how about I come back once I'm ready? Yep, good plan. And then I'm back over here at my requesting thing because I realized about a second ago I said yellow and I meant blue. So I need about, I don't know, 100 or so lapis. Request successful. Nice. Just pull that out of my crated lapis. I got plenty of the stuff. So no use using my AMC for that. I did manage to get a little more than about 100 rubies, so that'll be good. Or 300 rubies, I mean. Here comes all the lapis I requested. And that'll actually be used because it's blue, green, and red that I need, not yellow. Even though, you know, yellow is a cool color. But I can make that with red and green. I'll be back. And here we are, we're back again. I'm going to deposit the lapis in here, get the yellow out because I really don't need yellow at all. And we'll just transmutation table that back into my Klein Star. The nice thing about having a Klein Star is being able to dispose of stuff you don't want to have carried around. Ha, perfect. Alright, so also all the rubies that I brought. Nice. My inventory's starting to look decent. Alright, I'm going to use the drill here to be drilling into the, you know, wall over there. What do I want to use? Probably smooth stone. So let's get our mercurial eye. And remember, smooth stone can be used for the drillable material. So let's start building it up. Probably like that. Looks good to me. And I'll tidy up the wall in a little bit. Yeah, not too shabby. Alright, that one's a little shabby. So these are all going to be my lasers eventually. We're probably going to want just a little bit more on the wall here. So let's see, maybe that works. Beautiful. And go do the same thing on the sides and back over here. Alright, how's this look? Not bad, huh? Not bad at all. Maybe a little bit of stuff worth cleaning up here, but we can resolve that nice and quick. Ah, much cleaner. I like it. And the cool thing is when you drop stuff in this age, like watch the entity count, right? It's right now there's 2 entities in here somewhere. One of them's over here, probably a piece of cobble laying on the ground somewhere. There it is. And the other entity is me, by the way. So you can see when I'm in zoomed out mode, you can see 1 out of 1 entities, but as soon as I go into first person, it's 0 out of 1. But the nice thing is, anytime you drop anything in a void age, watch the entity count. It goes to 0, 1 in a minute. Because when it hits the void, it deletes it from the age. So I can make as big a mess as I want. Alright, let's get the next part of this going. Alright, now comes the hard part. You ready for this? I need to craft all these lasers that I'm going to need to do. So I'm going to get a stack of lapis, a stack of glowstone, and a stack of glass. And that's basically going to be me getting started to do all this stuff. And maybe even just to make this a little bit less painful. Like infinitely smally less painful, but still painful nonetheless. Let's do it this way. How do I even do that? Probably only need one stack of glowstone at a time anyway. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is basically place down another chest to store all the stuff that I have in my inventory right now that I don't need to have on me. Stuff that's, of course, going to be useful in this age, but at the moment, don't need. That ought to do. Sure, why not? Cool. So what I can do now, of course, is get myself some blue lens of a range plus 10. And I can't even shift click out of here, just because I guess the way the lens bench works. So I have a lot of clicking in my future. That'll be enough for now, because I'm going to get started showing you guys what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to wrap up this episode and complete the project. Well, not the whole project, of course, but this boring part of it. You know what? I should probably have my Klein Star on me so I can continue to fly. That is an important part. Alright, so, starting here. We're going to be drilling into the side of the block with a drill. But you know what? I need more rubies on me. I made them. I just need to make, just have to have a few more on me. Because you need a ruby every time you drill into a block. That's what those are for, remember. Alright. Facing along here. And we drill. And a blue laser goes in. And a blue laser goes in. And blue. And blue. And I'm going to do this 300 times. 100 times for blue, 100 times for red, and 100 times for green. But hopefully what this means is once we're done, we should be able to have this neat little laser system ready to go here. So let's see, it should be around here. Yep, cool. So it's not going to be lever controlled, of course. This is just, demonstration purposes only. But we're getting there. Sweet. So, of course, it's time for me to say it's unfortunately a good wrapping up point. I know, comments always say it's never a good wrapping up point, but I gotta wrap up sometime, guys. And this is it. So, Direwolf20 signing off on episode 81. All I'm going to be doing between this episode and next is filling in all those laser slots like I showed you. So it's going to be a long, boring process that you won't have to watch. But when I come back next episode in 82, I should hopefully have a bunch of blue lasers here, and a bunch of green here, and a bunch of red here. And I think every time I've said that I've changed where the colored lasers are going, but it really doesn't matter. And then next episode, we're going to make this a computer-controlled system so that I can use Red Power 2 computers to turn any color on the screen to any color that I want by sending out the right redstone pulses. So, can't wait to see how that works out. And then I do have a practical purpose for this. Not practical within the confines of Minecraft, but this will actually do something. What it's going to do is going to remain a mystery, but there will be something here. The hint is, I guess I could say, the size of it. The fact that it's 10 by 10 is your hint. If you can figure out what it is, kudos to you. Alright guys, I'll catch you next time.